What's up? What's up? It's popping. Are you hearing me okay? Okay. Trying to see if I can hear you right now. It's kind of like
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you. This is my first interview like with with somebody, so y'all gotta excuse me if it isn't perfect. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Vogue for coming through and let me interview her. This is dope shit.
Thanks for having me.
Now, could you tell the people while I'm inviting other people, like, could you tell the people, what you got going on, your age, little background, you know what I'm saying? Give them a little scoop, little scope into the Vogue world.
Okay. Well, I'm 24. Been down here for like 6 years. I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi. I know that can confuse a lot of people. They think I'm from here. I know you thought I was from Baton Rouge, I think. I was
Uh,
like, yeah, I'm not.
no, not to cut you off. I didn't think you were from Baton Rouge. I didn't. Sometimes I don't know where the artist was from. I just see if if they're in Louisiana, that's kind of close. But like, I'm doing this right now, doing the over live interviews, which is my first one. So it's cool. I can still connect and still get to you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no thing. That's all I'm trying to do is connect, make an effort to do that.
That's fire. That's fire. I
Yeah.
do appreciate that. This is my actual like first time going live on Instagram at all, so it should be interesting. Yeah,
Well, it's crazy. That's crazy. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've been doing music for a great while, since like 12, 13. This would be my second interview technically. I did have a hiatus for a few years. There were a lot of years I wasn't really like taking it super serious. I just did it for myself. But it wasn't until like 2020 I linked with this producer, Earth. You probably see him under a lot of my credits or in my songs. Yeah. So we just found out that we just had similar styles and just decided to work together and went up from there.
I know you said you had a hiatus with music. My first question would be, what made you want to get into music?
Oh, well, like I said, it started really, really young. I actually had, I think, my first microphone, like recording microphone and interface when I was maybe 12. Yeah, that was back in Mississippi, and I just knew that I always liked music. I used to ask for a piano keyboard like almost every Christmas as a kid, and one would break and just go back with another one.
So you were like dedicated to getting that keyboard so you can practice music.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So you started off like a musician more than like doing the vocal thing. You was doing instruments and things like that.
Yeah, actually, I can say that's true as well. It wasn't long after that I just started singing while playing the piano, but definitely I feel like maybe the piano came first,
Okay,
if I'm not mistaken.
that's dope. I love piano. A couple different instruments. Trumpet, piano. Those are all dope to me as far as this instruments. It's like hierarchy for me. So piano is definitely up there. What do you feel like separates you from other artists?
Well, at least a collective of artists I know, probably just generally just sound. Um, I like to fluctuate with different genres of pop, so I feel like mainly it's a subgenre for me. Well, like my genre is a bunch of subgenres all together, so it's really hard to just define my sound. Currently, I'm in my drum and bass era. I can say that, but probably that. It's That's an always interesting question to ask as an artist myself. I do wonder what other people who listen think, like what differentiates me from other artists.
What would you say is like the least favorite part of like music or the music industry, and what would be like your favorite part?
Ooh, that's a great question. Least favorite part. Phew, it takes a whole lot. Like
Hmm.
you I feel like you really have to find a way to find balance just from your craft, your social life, other things that you may be interested in doing. And also, I do love, my favorite part is how it could be seen good as bad, but I do like the connection part of it. Like sometimes you can get things based off of connections, but it doesn't necessarily have to be bad in my eyes, because the people, they're feeling you, they're feeling your sound and everything, and they can see where you're trying to go with it, even though they may not have long known you for a long time. That's, I do really like that.
Could you elaborate on that more as far as like do you find it easy to make connection, or is it like as far as you may begin beginning or like starting off, was it easier or like more difficult? Because me personally, I found it a little difficult. Maybe it's just how other people or people in general come up if they're around people and stuff like that.
Starting off, um, if we're being like technical, I wasn't really trying to make connections starting off, but maybe back, it's not something I'm actively like always doing. It just naturally happens though. But I do appreciate that. I do enjoy finding other music artists to work with, or artists like the same way you reached out about an interview and stuff. Things like that in terms of connections. That's what I do enjoy. How people aren't like, you know, like, well, you're new, so we don't really, I don't really want to talk to you right now or anything like that. I do appreciate connections in that sense.
Just to just to let people know, I've never been on an interview showing my face. Like, so I feel like this would be okay because I never intended to be like one of those interviewers who had showed their face. Shout out to Kata for noticing. Classmate, I see maybe a couple people in here for you. Shout out to everybody from your side that came through. Um, but he said I'm a classmate because I never usually if I'm interviewing, I'm in like some house, not like house clothes or pajamas or anything like that. You know, some shorts, some t-shirt and stuff like that. So yeah, it's the first for me. And like she said, it's the first. It's a first as far as her being on live, her second interview. So definitely want to keep shouting out the bravery. How, as far as a music standpoint or in general, how important is freedom of speech?
It's pretty important. Yeah, I mean, I do have this thing. I'm like, you can tell at least about a good amount of artists if you just listen to their lyrics. I know some people get so surprised when like some artists, they find out this shocking thing about them, and I'm like, well, they did kind of sort of state it in their songs, you know. Even if an artist was going through something, like, well, they do rap or sing about it. I do feel like that freedom is important for artists to have, because maybe that may be their only way of expressing themselves, or their best way.
Maybe in certain areas or certain groups want us to like just basically shut up, be entertainers. Because I feel like we're more than that. We're businessmen, we're scientists, we're all different things that just doesn't always point back to the entertainer side of it. How do we break the mold of just like being able to say what we want when we want to say it? Not saying anything too offensive because there's some lines you can't cross. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like we do have to take into consideration the time we live in. It really does depend on what you're saying. I feel like we are also the same way that we want to be able to say what we want to say. We should take into consideration why we're saying the things that we're saying as well. Um, yeah, I personally don't really speak on like political things in my music. That's not that's not really my main focus.
Would you rather be able to like travel anywhere you want to go for for a full year or have $50,000 to spend however you please?
Travel.
Or you want to travel anywhere? I mean, that's like almost inexpensive for like a whole year. Like you can rack up some shit like going places more than $50,000. So I get that. For you, why would you want to travel?
I've been trying to get a good vacation for the longest now, and yeah, I love to travel actually. So I grew up moving around a lot, which is probably why. It would be nice to just stay in one time. I do like to see different things, and I really want to see, like, go outside of the country. I feel like if I go out somewhere I really like, I'm not coming back. But I would love to travel. First, I want to also see, other states and stuff as well.
What would be like your top three places you want to go?
Top three,
Let me get your top three.
I would love to go to Paris. Definitely. I really like city vibes. I'm trying to get to New York soon. Just more city vibes. It really used to be California. Then I grew up and I was like, well, I think I prefer the city more, but I'll go visit there as well. I want to go somewhere. Oh, there was this one place I really wanted to go. I stay forgetting the name of it. It's like these white buildings, a lot of water. I stay forgetting the name of that place, but
Like,
there as well. Those are probably my top three right now.
is it in the states? Like the place you're trying to go?
Oh no, it's not in the States.
What do you feel about John Kennedy saying he blames the criminals and not the police? And if anyone feels differently about that, whenever they get in trouble, you should call a crackhead.
What?
You haven't seen that?
I don't think I have. Was this recent?
Yeah, I mean that's how I think he's running for governor or something like that, and that's like his slogan right now. He's more for empowering police and like putting harsher things as far as like criminals whenever they get arrested or whatever. So he was basically saying if you don't feel how I feel, whenever you get in trouble, call a crackhead.
Um, yeah, no, disagree with his statement. And I feel like his statement alone is pretty unintelligent. So
Is there anything you want to say to that statement? I know you said it's a very unintelligent one.
I have nothing to say to that man.
I feel you. I feel you. Like I said, it's very far left. If the person who hurt you the most, like, came to your doorstep, like, like out of nowhere, what would you say to this person?
I'd probably let them talk first, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. So after they've said what they had to say, maybe they saying I'm sorry. Because most of the time, if people showing up at your doorstep, like who probably felt like they did you bad, they probably tell you, "Hey man, I'm sorry," whoop de all this other stuff. So after the apologies and stuff are said, what would be the next thing you would say?
Well, thinking on the person, I would forgive them. I'd let them know I forgive them.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, I feel like the first step are like just getting over certain things, especially like when it comes straight towards you. It's tackling it head on as far as like that part, or just like it's like I said, if somebody did you that dirty or bad in life, you forgive them, or you just stay away from them if they haven't like sincerely apologized to you. So I feel like that's a cool thing to do.
I agree with that.
Um, what is your dream venue?
My dream venue? Ooh. It really, for a long time, it used to be Coachella. Hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe some huge festival like that. I would like to perform at Voodoo if they ever bring it back.
Okay. So I'm thinking that Voodoo would be the first choice and Coachella would be like the second.
Yeah, I can say
Okay,
that, yeah.
that's cool. Why would you? I haven't been to the Voodoo Fest, but I've heard a lot of stuff about Coachella. Why would you want to do a venue at Voodoo?
I was there once. I was working there, but during my little break, I just saw around and everything. It was pretty nice. I like how they had like this Ferris wheel and everything. I felt like that was pretty on theme for some of my music.
It's like a carnival.
Not exactly. Part of it looked like a carnival, but it was only because of that Ferris wheel that they had. They should include a roller coaster. I feel like it would really make things even better.
Yeah. What would you say has helped you most in your journey? Whether it's life, whether it's music, just in general.
Well, definitely the people I've met along the way. I can say that for sure. Yeah.
That will go be my next like question. Who has helped you the most in your journey? Like friends, family.
Well, number one, it would for sure have to be my own mother. Yeah,
Shout out
she's
to my
always been there. Shout out to her. Yeah, she's definitely always been there, no matter what. I really appreciate how she, growing up, no matter what it was, made us feel like we could talk to her about things. And there were moments where I was hesitant, like, well, I don't really want to talk about this with my mom, but then I did, and I'm like, well, I'm glad I did because she's hearing me out, and also if I want advice, she's giving advice because she's lived long enough to provide that. And she may have gone through similar things. So, yeah.
What would you do differently if you were able to start over from day one as far as music?
Oh my gosh. I think about this so much. I would actually be very consistent. Like when I was younger, I would take it serious, take it way more serious.
Yeah. Now I feel like a lot of artists feel like that. What part would you take more seriously? Performing, recording, or just putting yourself out there more?
Definitely with recording. So when I got my first interface and mic, I did not know how to use it at all. So I didn't really try to use it in a serious way. But, now I do know how to use it and adjust levels and mix. And I'm still learning mastering, but definitely way better at mixing. Yeah, so I would do all of that when I was younger. I wasn't doing anything like super serious when I was young anyway. So I had the time.
Yeah, I do feel like in our young age, we don't take things as serious as we would like right now because we don't really know exactly this is what we want to do. Like we're young and shit, you know. So one day you might be into sports, the next day you're into music, the next day you might be into movies or something like that. So I don't blame the young people for not knowing, especially if they don't have like that guide or somebody just pushing them consistently to do what they're trying to do. You know, is there anything outside of music that people don't know about you that you'd like them to know about you?
Um, I have a lot of interests. My main people probably know this by now. I skateboard. It's probably my second up hobby interest.
Oh,
Yes, it's pretty fun. That's also something I've technically been doing since I was younger, but not like super consistently until recently. I like to edit videos a lot. I have a YouTube channel, but it's private. It's
yeah.
it's public, but it's private. If it's one of those, if you find it, you find it. Yeah, I like editing videos. It's something I really enjoy. I'm not sure if a lot of people know, but I just graduated with a film major, so film is a big thing for me. Thank you, thank you. So yeah.
Do you have like a real good relationship, like just in general with your family?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Like we're pretty close. I can say that.
Family first, for sure. How do you think your style has changed over the years?
Like my sound.
Your style, cause not your clothes, cause you looking real fly today. You looking real good today. Just wanted to let you know.
Thank you.
But yeah, your
So
sound.
oh, like my music sound, it has changed. I used to be more of a rapper. Um,
Yeah,
well, I was a rapper and singer. I think with in terms of singing, I was more so I was really heavy on the vocals, just like usual pop or R&B singing, not necessarily recording. But then I wanted to be like more experimental with my sound, and I still rap here and there. It's not like something I mainly want to do. I know a good amount of people do enjoy when I rap, and I'm just like, well, yeah, but that's not what I'm doing right now, you know. But I will go back into it. I do find myself wanting to. My sound used to also be a bit more like darker before I met the producer I work with. He did
mm.
still he did still make some dark, sad stuff as well. He still does. But then I know I would be telling him, "Yeah, can you make this like more gloomy?" And he
Yeah,
would. But then I'm like, okay, but we also want to be in a happy place as well. So he makes that majority of the time, and it has absolutely worked wonders for my mental as well. I can say that. So that's how it's
So you
changed.
feel, sorry to cut you off. You feel like does it change as far as like your experiences in life or like how life is treating you as far as like going to that dark side, going to that happy side? Does it like is that the reason it changes over time?
That's exactly why, actually. Yeah, it does.
How was that experience for you as far as like going to school and learning the ins and outs of film?
It was tough. I'm not even gonna lie. I did not know there was so much. It was a long time coming. We'll just say that,
Yeah.
but it was worth it for sure.
So what exactly are you trying to do? You trying to do movies or commercials or like music videos? What are you all into?
So I think I want to like do scoring for movies and stuff like that. I could do editing too because I don't mind sitting there like editing stuff.
In today's society, what do you feel like is like the most controversial topics? What is something that you feel like is tough to talk about?
Controversial. I don't really know about the most. It's a few different ones. Just well, politics alone is pretty controversial in itself. So that's
Yeah.
probably actually maybe that's probably the number one. Just talking about politics. Everybody has their different beliefs and stuff. Yeah, but then politics is a huge umbrella, so it's things underneath it as well. Is it really controversial to talk about race these days? Probably not really. Um, you do have men versus women arguments.
I would say that
It's
you said the men versus the women argument.
yeah, it's kind of laughable, but yeah.
For one that as far as like the politics, I think the reason why it comes up the most is because how corrupt it can be. Like how everything isn't as it seems, as far as like politics and stuff like that. And they got the gender war going on. Uh, Race is more so for a lot of people now. It's like a nuance. It's not like a nuance, but it's more common to talk about race, and a lot of times it feel like that's like it's cool to talk about more than what it used to be maybe
Hmm.
20 years ago. But the gender war is actually laughable. I agree with that because, especially in our own community and culture, like we're fighting amongst each other like cats and dogs, which is like, what I'm saying? It's really weird. Sometimes I chime in on it, but I have my own relationship and relationships that I have to deal with, so I don't have too much time to like back and forth with people about what they should do, what my perceptions are. But it is kind of like a thing, So I can understand people who want to talk about it. It's something to do in the world. Uh, but what do you feel as far as like why is it so laughable to you?
Because it's like you said about having your own relationship, so you don't really have time to chime in. I feel like people should really just maybe step outside and meet actual other people. Um, a lot of the arguments are just they're so small and just petty. And I'm like, why have you actually met a woman or have you actually met a man
What do you feel like we should be focusing on?
ourselves?
So growth as far as just an individual standpoint.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That makes sense. I'll tell the people who have that hurt, you know what I'm saying? Go to therapy. Go talk to somebody who is like, you know, got a good head on their shoulders, you know what I'm saying? Because you'll be talking to a whole group of people who are just like shit, you know what I'm saying? So try to stay away from those people who are watching. Try to stay away from those crazy people, you know what I'm saying? So get help. Get help. Go see a therapist.
Even, journaling helps. That was something I did a lot, like for like 3 years, just even writing it down, or for the artist, make your music.
Thanks. If you can change anything about the industry, what would it be?
Woo, the probably feel like it's some corrupt stuff going there. I'm not sure because I'm not up there, but we all have our speculations. So that would be it. I wouldn't want artists to feel like they have to do certain things just to get to where they actually want to be in life. Things that they don't want to do and feel like they have to sacrifice maybe who they are and their innocence just to make it up top. Like I would for sure change that. That's something I really want to do, but then I might have a target at my head, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you'd have to think about. For if I if I say this, will they come for me? What is the highlight of like your career as a music maker, as a person who does this music thing?
The highlight? Oh man, probably the highlight was dropping my first album. Was that last year? 2021? That was last year.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, dropping my first album was crazy. Like, what a
Let
time.
the people let the people know where they can find it. What's the name of it?
So the name of that album is Shadows Glitter, and it can be found Spotify, Apple Music. I think it's on Tidal too. I do also have it on SoundCloud. For those
Hmm.
who don't have access to other streaming services, it's also on YouTube as well. You can pretty much find it anywhere.
What is like your goal as far as like your music career?
Man, I really want to make it up enough to start my own label and stuff. As for right now, um, I want to perform more right now. So record more, perform more, right? Also, I need to be making music videos. I don't have any music videos right now, but there's one I want to do for this new song that I have coming out. So more music videos right now. After my music videos, then I can start, or maybe they can go hand in hand, performing more music videos, then touring. Still thinking about signing with a label. I'm not really sure at the moment. I
It's
don't really
tough.
know that many labels. Yeah, yeah. I don't know that many labels, but then again, I would have to find one where my sound fits in at. I'm sure there could be one. Um, but then went up there. I do want to do stuff with film as well, though. Like I said, scoring for movies or, with my vocals on the soundtrack for movies. Someone like Dev Hynes. I'm not sure if you know that artist, but something in that realm as well. Yeah.
What do you like to do in New Orleans?
Oh man, go out and dance. I just love music, so it'll be a random weekday, and even anybody could probably tell you. Maybe anybody who's been out with me or the
Hmm.
guy I'm dating. I'm always like during a random weekday, I kind of want to go out and dance. Sometimes he'll be like, uh, okay, fine. Or sometimes he'll be like, well, I know you wanted to dance, so I'm gonna bring you here. So just going out to dance in New Orleans, it's always fun.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
What was the first part of that question?
Um, what exactly are you doing now? Like, what are you trying to build up to, or what are you building on right now?
Right now, I am working on I think I want to release a new EP. I'm so conflicted about this latest song that I recorded being a single or making it a part of an EP, but I feel like it should be a part of an EP just because of the sound.
Mm.
And then too, as I was saying, I'm trying to like actually start doing music videos now. So that on top of performing, that's my main focus right now.
Say if you start getting that traction and stuff like that, what would be like the terms of like your deal? What would you want them to do for you and like stuff like that?
I would I would say creative control, but at the same time, I am open to ideas, always open to ideas. I just hope that we're on the same page with those ideas. Um,
Hmm.
just have my best interest and not trying to do any funny stuff really. That's my main thing.
Make sure you read those contracts. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
Absolutely.
that's that's how they get those artists most of the time. Those guys, they don't come from nothing. So they like, okay, where do I sign? So that's one of those things I would tell artists to kind of like make sure y'all read that paperwork.
Yeah, so in that sense, thankfully I did have the opportunity. When I had this music business class in school, we had this group project where there were different parts of us. We had a group as a label, and I was like the legal in the group, so I had to come up with the contract and everything for this artist that we were going to be working with, and so that did teach me a good amount about making good contracts. We had to get this, or I had to get this venue to sign it so that our artist could perform there, and well, so that we could perform and film there. It was, it was,
Okay.
but it was definitely worth it. I still think about that.
Where do you find inspiration?
Oh my gosh, like my everyday life, the people
Mm,
I encounter and interact with, just my life experiences, really. Yeah. If you listen to a lot of my songs, I talk about that a lot. That's a pretty common theme.
okay. What motivates you?
Wanting to not be where I am right now, mainly, yeah.
Okay, so is it like a place or just like in life?
Just like in life, I always feel like there's room for growth, even if that's like internally and not exactly my surroundings, but definitely that motivates me. Yeah, I never want to ever feel like I'm stuck. That's my main thing.
Right. Could you tell us a little bit of like, you're coming up, like what is your fondest memory just coming up or just being a young child or something like that?
How carefree I was. I feel like, that's still in today. So I stayed in the country for a good amount of my life. As I stated, I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, but, well,
Shout out to Jackson.
yeah, the country was Edwards, Mississippi, though. But just being outside with my cousins, using our imaginations out in those woods and stuff, just having fun, carefree like that, like, I do miss it.
It's dope. Having just being a kid, basically.
Hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people feel like, they were rushed growing up. I know, as far I have four sisters. Could you elaborate? Like, do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I do actually. So my brother was just in this live. His whole thing is TikTok. He'll a celebrity TikTok star in the live. Then I have my sister, my older sister. So I'm a
Hmm.
middle child. I have my older sister. She's back in Mississippi, but she should be down here as well. She's another creative individual. She's more so creative writing and also like visual art. So we
Okay.
all do our own thing, really. She's more of a business person too. I can definitely say that.
I don't know if that's your brother. I don't know if he's
Yeah,
is
that's
okay. Shout out to him. He's like, I'm here, letting you know. What is the scariest thing that you've experienced?
like as an artist.
Oh, just in general. It could be artist wise. It could be in life.
Scariest. That's a good question. Probably a few things. Ooh,
It could
I'm
be.
probably almost dying in my dorm room. It was random.
Oh shit. How did that? Could you elaborate? How did that come about?
I had a very, it was a struggle. I just had a very hard time with some personal things. And my breathing was impacted. It was probably like an anxiety attack or something. I do remember, I think I contacted my mom the next day or so. But yeah, it was terrible.
What was your most embarrassing moment?
Oh my God. Probably in high school, some crazy stuff happened. I feel like I've told this story before, maybe not to a bunch of people, but like one time It was just my freshman year of high school. I think the second day I had already walked out of class on the first, no, on the, this was the third day. I'd already walked out of class on the second day over something so stupid. But the third day, something major happened in the cafeteria. I thought somebody said something. I got up and I just like stormed to the stage in the cafeteria. It went super quiet. It was so bad. Like, I hope
What do
nobody.
you thought was said?
What'd you say?
What do you thought was said?
I thought they were just like saying some shady stuff, and I'm just like, I don't even know these people. But then I get in the office, and I think that was my teacher or someone. She's like, "Well, they just wanted to know your name." I was like, "Be for real."
What?
We left it at that, but yeah,
Are you into signs?
like astrology.
Astrology? Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
big topic with
I'm
my
for
friends
it.
and people in general.
Yeah,
Well, what's your sign?
Taurus Sun, Leo Moon, and
Okay.
Rising. Yeah.
You said about two different things, so I know you're into signs. I have some people who are super into them. What do you feel like signs can help you? In what way do signs help you in life?
Well, it's not just about, your sun sign or the moon or rising only. I feel like they do help you understand who you are and, what you need to be doing. It's more to it than just the sign itself. I can say that for sure. I know some people don't believe it, and that's fine, that is fine.
What would you say to the people who don't believe in signs? What can you say to them to get them like, kind of get with the program?
I don't ever try to force that on anybody. I feel like everyone should definitely believe what they want to believe. I'm sure there are reasons that people don't believe in it. I'm not gonna say this is real, so you should believe it. I'm just like, okay, I can respect that.
What's something that you're into right now?
Um, right now I only, dive into my hobbies that I like I said, with skateboarding and editing. What's something new that I want to try though? Hmm. That I haven't really figured out yet. I think I have to try it first, and then I'm the type of person, if I try it, I could get fixated on it. So,
What's the best piece of advice you've been given?
oh man, maybe something my bus driver told me. He was just like, I think this was before he even knew I made music. He was like, you're gonna be a star. Just stay on top of everything that you're doing and focus. He just said, stay focused. I don't know what that man saw or whatever, but yeah, I just sit behind him on the bus. We used to just talk. I think he was a songwriter. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Then one day said that and just told me to stay focused on everything. But he did not elaborate. That's all he said.
Yeah.
So that stays in the back of my mind.
I think the powers that be are, the Most High, God, Allah, whatever people want to describe him as. I think he sends people in your life because I have random people coming up to me and talking with me for some reason, and they tell me things sometimes I need to hear, and I'm like, dog, do I know you? Like, why are you talking to me? Type gig. So I think people say things or be in your life for a reason, or just a higher power, maybe just calling you to go do what you need to go do. You know what I'm saying? Your purpose. So I think that's probably what that was. The
Yeah.
bus driver dropping gems real quick on you could be like so random, and you don't even think nothing of it. What is one thing in life you couldn't live without?
Music.
Oh yeah, that's like the top three answer because music is literally everywhere. Music is a byproduct of sound, so I can understand that. What will be after music? Because that's usually the the one people say.
After music, it would definitely be the people who are already in my life, like as a support system, my family and friends and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Definitely, for sure.
So my second to last question: how do you balance out, like, what do you feel like is your purpose in like your everyday life?
Well, For me, it's always been if it's not sitting right with me, I'm not gonna do it for long. Like I do work a job right now, and I'm like, this is, I know this is not long term.
This ain't
Not
it. This ain't it.
what I want to do. Yeah, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, it's cool. It has its moments, but if I don't feel like when I wake up every day and I don't feel like doing that, like almost every day, then that's when I know it's just not for me.
Do you feel like it's better to talk to people in person or just, through a phone, through the internet, something like that?
It is nice to just be able to talk to people in general, no matter what. I personally prefer to talk in person though, because even if,
Yes.
I feel like if it's in person, we don't even have to necessarily talk about exactly what's going on. I'll mention it, but then we can go like hang out or do something to just like get my mind off of it, or if they want that as well.
Okay. It's kind of like a byproduct of what the last question was, because you said at first you didn't have anyone to talk to. Do you feel like the artist life get lonely?
It can be, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Is there anything that you want to tell the people out there before we dip out of here?
Well, first of all, thank you again for having me. You're trying to do an interview again, and also to the people, I will be performing in Baton Rouge on the 29th at Yana Fest. So this will be
Okay, okay, I'll connect.
my next upcoming performance. I am supposed to be doing an interview beforehand. So like if you were trying to do another one, I'll be over there in the city, like maybe 2 days before, 2 or 3 days before the festival starts. I'll be downtown Baton Rouge and everything.
Okay,
I see that the producer Earth is in here who I work with. If people want to work with him, hit him up so he can stop being in.
okay.
Yeah,
Any
and
shout out?
what'd you say?
Any shout outs you want to do?
Shout out to everyone who joined.
Yes, yes.
For thank you for listening. I hope well, it's probably some people's first time hearing my voice. That's gonna be the funny part. I'm a bit nasally right now. This is not how I sound every day, y'all. I promise. I promise. But thank you as well for this opportunity. And I do have a song coming out very soon. Stay tuned. I stay posting snippets of it. It's called Color of You, produced by Earth.
Okay,
So yeah. And my handle is Vogue. That's VEAUXGUE. You can find me on, Instagram. I do have a Twitter. I don't really use it like that, but if some people join and it's active, I may tweet again. I don't really have much to say on there right now. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube Music, SoundCloud. That's where you can find me at.